welcome to another week of Pilates plus Physio. Today you need your mat, you need your yoga brick or little book, and you need your elastic TheraBand if you've got one, or an old tie or belt. So let's get going. So feet pointing to the front, knees just nice and relaxed. Try and lengthen through your hips a little bit. Just check that you're not clenching your bottom or gripping with the thighs. You don't want to be working harder than you need to. Open out through the shoulders, just very gently tuck in the chin. Either imagine a balloon from the back of your head taking you up towards the sky, or maybe you've got really long bunny ears, just stretching your back of your neck up a little bit. And just circle the shoulders going backwards, so right the way up, round, back and down. Nice and smooth, don't worry about the clicking and the crunching. Really rolling, and then just gently taking your nose in little tiny circles, about the size of a golf ball. Start off, and then maybe make the circles with your nose about the size of a tennis ball, and then maybe a little bit bigger, small saucer, and then go round the other way. Start with the saucer, back to the tennis ball, and back to the golf ball. Little tiny circles with the nose. Great. Little fingers on the side seam of your trousers, thumbs pointing up. Just gently float the arms right the way up. Really lengthen through the fingers and all the way down. So even weight going through your feet. See if the arms will just float. Imagine a couple of helium balloons tied to each thumb. The arms are just floating up and releasing down. And again, so think about a moment just where the weight is going through your feet. Is it all back through your heels? Is it even between both feet? Are you getting some weight going through the front of the feet? Couple more of those, and releasing down. Great. Little bit of balancing next. So if your balance isn't good, maybe stand near something that you can grab a hold of if you need to. Aim not to be holding on though. So if you find it difficult, just do the simple standing on one leg rather than adding in the arm movements and the head movements. So fold one knee up in front. So you can just do that. If that's difficult enough, just do that. If it's easy, what about taking one arm up, other one up, first arm right down, second arm right down. Swap your feet over. So fold the leg up. One arm all the way up, other one all the way up. First one right down, second one right down. Swap your feet. Fix your eyes on something in the distance, something not moving. See if you can shut one eye. And then switch eyes. Good, good. Open both. Pop the foot down. Switch legs. So peel your foot up off the floor. Fold the knee up. Shut an eye. Switch eyes, open both, pop the foot down. Just alternate heel lifts, so lifting one heel off the ground and then the other, just working through the feet, just warming the feet up a little bit, getting them moving. And then both feet on the ground, very small little hip and knee bend. Press into your feet back up, come up onto your tiptoes. So heels down, bend the hips and the knees. So you're not dropping down into a squat, your body is still staying upright. Come back up onto the toes. So think of your tummy button pointing forward still. You're not sticking your bottom out behind and your tummy button points to the floor. Tummy button stays pointing to the front, onto the toes, watch the ankles aren't rolling out. Drop down, press into your feet back up onto the toes. Calf muscles working quite hard as you come up there. That's good. Okay, and then lie yourself down on the mat, just in the relaxation position, so you're lying on your back, knees bent. Head on just a small little pillow or a thin book if you're a little bit stiff through your upper back and neck. So knees bent, feet down flat. Just think of your back relaxing down into the mat a moment. Maybe rest your hands on your upper tummy. Gentle breathing down into the tummy. And just sort of scan down through your body. Check that you're not holding anything tight. So start at the top of your head. Jaw is relaxed. Neck muscles just nice and soft. Open through the shoulders. Breathing down with the diaphragm. Just watch you're not clenching at the back of the knees. That's good. And then maybe just pop your arms down beside you. Think about the little bit of a hollow between your lower back and the floor, and just flatten your back into the mat, and then arch your back away from the floor. And again, just flatten down. So really gentle. So you're not pushing your back into the ground. You're just gently flattening and then arching. And then flattening and arching. So just nice and smooth. And then you could just gradually start to come up a little bit further. So maybe just getting your tailbone off the mat and release down. So we're working into a spine curl. Maybe coming a couple of vertebrae off the ground and release down. And going again. Just coming up a little way and down. A little bit higher each time until you're finally coming right up. So the weight's coming up between the shoulder blades and releasing down. Nice one if you're getting stiff in your upper back. Legs staying parallel, so just watch the knees aren't going further apart. You're pressing down into your feet. Just coming up nice and smooth and rolling down. Maybe next time come up, think of the hips staying level. Take one knee out to the side and bring it back in. Other knee out the other side, back in, roll all the way down. So you want your pelvis completely level. Imagine a stick resting across the front of your hip bones. That's staying parallel to the ground. One knee out, other knee out, roll down. And again, press into your feet, peel up. One knee out, come back in, other knee out, back in, roll down. One knee out, back in, other one out, back in, roll right down. Bring your knees up to your chest, cross your ankles, hang on to the knees, just a little bit of gentle knee rocking just to release through your lower back. Great. Pop your feet down, both hands underneath your head. Let the elbows drop right back to the floor. And then just bring the elbows up towards the ceiling and let them drop all the way back. And again, elbows right up, let them drop back. You're just cradling your head in your hands, tuck the chin in, curl your head and shoulders up, look down over the top of the knees. So a little curl up and release down. Remember, just get pelvic floor muscles engaging, curl up, hold at the top, maybe count to 2, slowly back down again. So make the muscles work on the way up as well as on the way back down. So you're just curling up, count to 2, slowly back down. Back of the knees staying nice and relaxed, curling up, holding there, and back down. And again, little chin nod, curl up, hold there, release down. Let's switch this now into an oblique curl up. So one elbow staying back on the floor, you're thinking of coming up and across, and release down, up and across, and release down. So crisscross tummy muscles now doing a little bit more work. Up and across. So pelvis staying level, your knees are staying pointing towards the roof. Just 3 more of those. Up and across, nice and slow. That's great. Really working the tummy muscles quite hard. Rest your head down, just let the neck release. Roll your head gently from one side to the other. Okay, and then maybe grab your band or your belt. We're just going to do hamstring stretch. Remember, go easy with this if you've got sciatic pain or pain down your leg that comes from your back. So band underneath your foot, slide the other leg down flat, elbows on the ground. Make sure this knee is going straight. So if it won't go straight, bring the whole thing down a little bit till it is straight. So push out through the heel, chin staying gently tucked in. You've still got that little bit of a hollow through your lower back, so you're not pulling up so hard that your back flattens down into the ground. Should be a firm stretch, back of the thigh, down into your calf as well. Maybe take a breath in. As you exhale, just gently ease into that a little bit more. That's great. Okay. Then pop the band behind your thigh on that leg. Let the bottom bit of your leg relax, so your knee is pointing to the roof. Just feel which bits of you are sort of touching the floor at the back, so both sides of your bottom on the ground. We're just going to gently circle that knee. So you're thinking of your hip dropping right back into its socket, almost like you're stirring a big dish that you cooked a cake in. You're going right the way round with one of those spatula things. Don't worry if you're getting a bit of a click and a clunk at the front. Just nice smooth circles with that knee. So just watch. What people tend to do is they go out too far and then the opposite side of the pelvis starts to lift. So think, if you're circling your left leg, think about the right side of your bottom or your pelvis staying stuck firmly on the ground. Maybe start going the other way. If you've got nice long stretchy hamstrings, you could have the leg straight. Sometimes you don't get quite as much movement in the hip with the leg straight because obviously the hamstrings are stopping you going quite as far. So you can do leg straight, or if you prefer, keep the knee bent. Think of drawing a little circle on the roof with the torch beam coming out of your knee. That's good. Okay, pop that leg down, switch the band to the other leg. So we're going to do the stretch first. So band underneath your foot, leg up towards the sky, elbows on the mat, toes up towards you, press out through your heel. So nice stretch down the back of the thigh there. Normal breathing. Again, make sure the knee is straight. So if it won't go straight, bring the whole thing down a little bit till it does go straight. Maybe take a breath in. As you exhale, just ease into that a little bit more. And then bring the band down behind your thigh. So elbows on the mat. Think of the band as almost like some reins, and you're just gently steering that leg around. So big torch beam coming out of your knee, and that's circling up on the roof. Nice one, just for really sort of lubricating around the hip joint, especially if your hips are getting a little bit stiff. And just gently get them moving. And then going around the other way. Remember, again, you can do it with the legs straight if you want to. Then you're circling, you're doing a circle with your big toe up on the ceiling. Or knee bent. And the other way. Getting a nice clunk at the front of my hip with this one. Haven't done this exercise for a little while, have we? It's great. Okay, we're going to do a double leg stretch with the bands. So it's quite a strong exercise. If your back's feeling a bit irritable, you might not want to do it. So you want both feet in the band. Elbows on the mat again, back slightly flattened into the floor, press your feet up towards the ceiling and release down. So feet going directly up is easier on your back and your tummy than feet coming more diagonally. Those who want to, as you push the feet up, you can tuck the chin in, curl your head and shoulders up at the same time and release down. So pressing up with the feet and release down. Nice and smooth. Or just doing the legs. Remember, you just want to work at the level you're comfortable with. You don't want to be working too hard. Maybe just going one more. Great. Pop the band to one side, hold the knees, a little bit of gentle knee rocking. And then pop the legs down, both knees bent, feet down flat, and then maybe turn over so you're lying on your tummy. The band out of the way. So, lying on your tummy, hands together underneath your forehead, just flatten right down into the mat, clench your bottom, little kicks up and down. So swimming leg, little kicks up and down. Sort of just getting the opposite muscles working. So when you're doing the leg, double leg press, you're working sort of front of the hips. Now we're getting back of the hips and buttocks working. Nice and smooth, keep breathing. Think of that little ice cube between your lower tummy and the mat. You're just gently drawing away from that. Shoulders staying soft. That's great. Rest the legs down. Maybe just give your bottom a sort of rock from side to side. Feet down flat if you can, if that's not going to give you cramp. Hands on the mat, sort of just about a little bit wider apart than your shoulders. Just gently press up on your hands. So coming up into like a cobra and releasing down. And again, pushing up on your hands, back, arching backwards. Nice and smooth. Nice one if you spend a lot of time sitting with your back slightly rounded. You want it to go back the other way. And then maybe come up onto hands and knees. Bottom right back to your heels. So going back the other way, just really opening up all those little joints in your back. Arms right out in front, head curling down. Couple of breaths into the back of the ribs. Up onto hands and knees. So hands under your shoulders, knees under the hips, spread the fingers nice and wide, chin tucking in, back of the neck long. A little bit of a hollow through your lower back. Press back with one leg. Pull the toes up towards you. And draw that one in. Keep that feeling of really pressing the floor away from you. Press back with the other leg. Draw the toes up towards you. So your toes end up pointing directly down to the floor. Switch legs. Slide the leg back.
Hello.
Just going again. Press back. And come back in.
Right, what is knee?
Press back. And back in. One more. Pushing back. And back in. Bottom back to your heels again. Arms right out in front. Curl down. Couple of big breaths. That's lovely. Great. Okay. Turn over onto your side. So underneath arm right up above your head, legs out straight. Make sure you can see your toes when you look down, look back to the front. Top hand really light. Point the toes, float the top leg up. We're doing a side leg lift. Pull your toes up towards you, press out through the heel. Point the toes, float the leg up, press out through the heel. Point the toes, float the leg up, press out through the heel. Just nice and smooth. Side leg lift, side of the buttock, side of the thigh doing the work. That's good, maybe just a couple more of those. Lovely, okay, turn over so you are on the other side. So underneath arm right up above your head, legs out straight, make sure you can see your feet when you look down, top hand light, point the toes, top leg up, pull your foot up, press out through the heel. Just normal breathing, big gap between your ear and your shoulder. Should be side of the buttock, side of the thigh doing the work. Lovely. That's great. Okay. Finish the one you're doing. Maybe turn back onto your back. Just come around the other way. We're going to do a figure four stretch, so ankle of one leg onto the knee of the other one. Let the knee really flop out. You can just stick with that or hold behind the thigh if the foot's on the floor, pull that in towards you. So it should be a stretch in your buttock of the folded leg. Could start gently straightening the leg that you're holding on to if you've got reasonably length hamstrings and releasing down. Straighten the leg and release down. Straighten the leg and release down. Good. Pop the leg down, swap legs. So ankle onto your knee, flop the knee out. Hold behind the thigh of the foot that's on the floor, pull in towards you. Think of letting go in that buttock of the one leg. Let's try straightening the other leg and release. Straighten the leg and release. Straighten up and release. again, straighten up and release. And one more. That's good, great, okay. Either hold behind the thigh, tuck in the chin, roll gently up into sitting, or turn onto your side and come up. Lovely, okay. Legs crossed in front of you, sit nice and tall, right up on your sitting bones. If you're a bit stiff through your back and your hips, you might be better sitting up on your brick. So sit right up tall, maybe take one hand, fingers pointing to the sky, reach right the way up to the sky. And come down. Other hand, think of reaching right up, touch the sky, and come down. Both hands, right the way up. And then bring your left hand to your right knee, right hand behind you, just into a twist. So looking behind you, left hand on your right knee, right hand behind you. Lovely. And come back to the front. Reach up towards the sky with one hand. Think of grabbing an apple right up high and coming down. Reach right up with the other hand. And down. Reach up with both. This time right hand to your left knee, left hand behind you. Sit tall, look round behind you. Breathe into the side of the ribs. Great, and come back to the front. Come slowly up into standing. So feet flat down on the floor. Stand nice and tall. Couple of roll downs, chin on your chest, draw in the tummy. Roll down as if you're going to touch your toes. Let your head dangle, let the arms dangle, scoop in the tummy, unfurl all the way back up. Head coming up last. And again, chin down on your chest, roll down. You can stay down there for a couple of breaths if your back's happy. If it's not happy, come straight back up. Just let the head dangle, let the arms dangle. Scoop in hard, unfold all the way up. Slide the shoulders up and let them release. And again, sliding up and releasing. Thanks so much for joining me. See you again soon. Bye-bye.